All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're not just looking at some fancy product. We're going to be detectives. We're going to dissect the actual words used to sell it. We're taking the description for a high-end Italian chandelier and using it as a kind of masterclass to see how marketing copy works its magic, how it actually creates desire out of thin air.
And it all starts right here, with a question. The very first line, it doesn't even mention the product. Instead, it points out a problem you might not have even noticed 5 seconds ago. See that little pause? That feeling flat? It's totally intentional. It's designed to make you stop and go, huh, you know what? Maybe my room is a little flat.
Because that's exactly what this is. It's not an ad, it's the start of a story. A story that has a problem, and a hero, that's you by the way, and of course a magical object that's going to solve everything. So our job today? Let's decode that story.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll break down how they invent the problem. Then, we'll see how they build this entire history for the product. After that, we'll dig into how they turn physical things into pure feeling, how they justify the price tag, and then, at the end, we'll put all the pieces together.
Okay, first things first, creating the need. See, before you can sell anybody a solution, you have to make them feel the problem, like really feel it.
And check out the language they use here. The diagnosis, it's not technical at all. It's 100% emotional. The copy doesn't say your room is, poorly lit. It says your lighting is uninspired. It doesn't say you need a new lamp. It says your whole space lacks personality. It's a really clever trick, right? It turns a simple decorating problem into a personal one, which makes the solution feel way more urgent.
All right, so now you've got a problem. The next move in the pitch is to introduce the solution. But they don't just show you a chandelier. No. They present you with a piece of history.
This is just brilliant. The phrase Italian design is doing all the heavy lifting here. It's not just telling you where it's from. It's a key word, a shortcut to a whole story about legacy, master craftsmanship, and timeless style. So you're not just buying a thing, you're buying into this celebrated artistic tradition.
And you can see how they hammer this idea home with these very specific words. They use phrases like meticulous, generations, and authentic. These aren't just adjectives, they're chosen to build up this massive sense of value. They make it sound like this isn't some factory-made item, but a genuine work of art that has a soul.
So, we've established the chandelier has this grand heritage. But how does it actually make you feel? Well, this next part is all about translating the physical object into a real, tangible, emotional experience.
And this right here, this is the whole game. On one side, you've got the boring, merely functional light you probably have now. But on the other side, you have what this chandelier offers, an experience. It doesn't just illuminate, it inspires. It doesn't create glares, it creates warm ambiance. They're completely reframing the very idea of what light is supposed to do.
And just listen to this. Each piece of glass tells its own story. Wow, that's a masterstroke. They're literally giving an inanimate object a voice, a history, a personality. It's not just a bunch of glass anymore. It's a collection of stories hanging from your ceiling. That, my friends, is how you sell magic.
Okay, now for the big one, the price. A piece like this is going to be expensive, and they know it. The copy can't just ignore that fact, so instead it does something much smarter. It reframes the cost as a wise, long-term investment. And the closing argument is this amazing 1-2-3 punch. First, they call it the crowning jewel of your home. That's all about status. Second, it's a lasting investment, which makes you feel smart and responsible for buying it. And finally, the whole thing is elevated to curating an experience. Suddenly, you're not just a shopper, you're a person of taste, designing your own beautiful life.
So let's zoom out and pull all these threads together. After breaking this all down, what have we actually learned about the art of persuasion? Here it is, the playbook. It's a really clear 4-part strategy. Step 1, create a problem. Step 2, build up the product's value with a big story. Step 3, connect its features to your feelings. And Step 4, frame the price as a smart investment, not a cost. Once you see this pattern, you will start seeing it absolutely everywhere. And this line right here is the ultimate promise. The pitch ends by saying exactly what it's been hinting at the whole time. You're not buying a light fixture, you're buying a transformation. You're buying the feeling of a perfect home. So I'll just leave you with this question. The next time you find yourself really wanting something, a new gadget, a fancy car, whatever, just ask yourself, am I buying a product or am I buying a story about a better version of myself? The answer, well, it might just change the way you see things.